Today, we're talking about the prepositions that have special meanings.
Like for the sake of, or instead of, or in charge of, those kinds of things.
Hey, hi, how's your morning going?
Hey, Anna. Pretty good, pretty good. I was just thinking about something actually. I had like 3 cups of coffee already.
3 cups? That's a lot. Why so much coffee?
Well, for the sake of staying awake, I drank a lot. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was worried about work stuff.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm excited to talk today.
Yeah, me too. So, I don't think we've done this before. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Like tell people about you?
Oh, sure. So, I'm Anna. I'm from California originally. I moved to New York about 5 years ago. I work in marketing. I like to read books, go to the gym, and spend time with my friends. I love coffee too, but not 3 cups.
Okay, I hear you. Well, I'm Alex. I grew up here in New York, actually. Never really left. I work as a project manager at a tech company. So basically, I'm in charge of a small team. We work on different software projects. It's busy, but I like it. I also like cooking, hiking, and watching movies.
That's nice. A project manager. So you have to make a lot of decisions, right?
Yeah, I do. A lot of decisions. Sometimes I have to make choices between different things. Like, I have to choose instead of something else.
Instead of something else? Like instead of going one direction, you go another direction?
Exactly, yes. So today I wanted to talk about something that I use every single day. And honestly, I think it's really important for learning English.
Oh, what is it?
It's about prepositions, but not the easy ones, the harder ones, the ones that are kind of tricky.
Okay, like in, on, at, those prepositions?
Well, not exactly. Those ones are kind of basic, right? I'm talking about the prepositions that have special meanings, like for the sake of, or instead of, or in charge of, those kinds of things.
Oh, okay, I see. So like different meanings?
Yes, different meanings. So, like, I use in charge of all the time at work because I have to manage people, but a lot of people don't understand what that really means.
Okay, so let's start with that one. For the sake of. That sounds kind of formal?
It does sound a little formal, but actually we use it a lot in everyday life, not just in business. So, for the sake of basically means because something is important. You do something because you want that thing to happen or be good.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. So, like, last week, I had an argument with my sister. We were fighting about something stupid, and I was really angry. But then I thought about my mom. I didn't want to make her sad, so I called my sister and I apologized. I did it for the sake of our relationship, because I want my family to be happy and close.
Aw, that's sweet. So you did something even though you didn't want to because you wanted something bigger to be good?
Yes, exactly. That's it. You get it. So you sacrifice something small for something bigger and more important.
I like that. I do that too. Like, I have a friend, she wants to move to Texas. And I'm sad because I'll miss her, but you know what? I'm happy for her. I support her. I don't make a big deal about it. I do it for the sake of her happiness and her dreams.
That's perfect. That's exactly right. And I think that's what for the sake of means. You put something else first. You do something because the other thing matters more.
Right. So, what are some other ways people use this?
Oh, lots of ways. Like parents do things for the sake of their children. teachers do things for the sake of their students, you can sacrifice a lot of money for the sake of your health. Like, you buy organic food because it's healthier, even though it costs more.
Oh, I do that. Yes, I buy expensive food for the sake of being healthy. My mother thinks I'm crazy. She says, "Why do you pay so much?" And I say, "Mom, for the sake of my health."
Yes, that's so real. That's so real. Or like, you can dress nicely for the sake of a job interview. You don't normally wear a suit, but you do it that day because you want the job.
Exactly. Okay, I really understand this one now. What's the next one?
Okay, so next is instead of. And this one is easier, I think.
Okay, good. I need an easy one.
So instead of means you choose one thing and you don't choose the other thing. It's like an alternative. You do this, not that.
Okay, I know this one already, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I use it sometimes. Like, I went running instead of going to the gym, or I made coffee at home instead of buying it at the coffee shop.
Yes, perfect examples. See, you know it already. But here's the thing that makes it tricky sometimes.
What?
The grammar part. People sometimes don't use the right form of the word after instead of.
Oh, what do you mean?
So like, you can't say, I went running instead of go to the gym. You have to say instead of going to the gym. You have to use the ing form, the gerund.
Oh, right. I think I learned that in class. So after instead of, you use the ing form?
Yes, exactly. Instead of takes a gerund. So like, I could say, I took a shower instead of taking a bath. Or, I watched a movie instead of reading a book.
Got it. And it's pretty common? People use it a lot?
Oh yeah, all the time. Especially when you're explaining your choices. Like if someone asks, why did you do that? You can say, well, I did this instead of that.
Right. Okay, I like this one too. It's simple, but good to remember the ing form.
Right. And, you know, people make that mistake a lot, so it's good to practice it.
What's the next one?
Okay, so this is where my work life really comes in. In charge of.
You already mentioned this one a little bit, right?
Yeah. So basically, in charge of means you are responsible for something. You manage it. You make decisions about it. It's your job to take care of it.
Okay, so like, if you're in charge of a team, you manage the team?
Yes, exactly. So I'm in charge of 5 people at work, and that means I have to make sure they're doing their work. I have to help them with problems. I have to talk to them about their salary and their time off and all that stuff.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
It is. It's a lot. But I like it. Most days. Some days it's hard.
I bet. Do people ever argue with you, like because you're in charge?
Yeah, sometimes. Not really argue, but like, they might not be happy about a decision, and I have to explain why I made that decision. It's part of the job.
That makes sense. And do you use this phrase a lot? Like, do you say it in your daily work?
Oh, all the time. Like, I'm in charge of this project, or who's in charge of that? Or I put Sarah in charge of the new client. People say it a lot.
Okay, that's good. I think I'll remember this one because it makes sense. You're in charge, so you're responsible.
Right. And you can use it for lots of things, not just work. Like a parent is in charge of their kids. A teacher is in charge of a classroom. A coach is in charge of a team.
Right, so it's about power and responsibility, basically.
Exactly. That's a good way to say it. Power and responsibility.
Okay, what's the last one?
Okay, so the last one is in favor of, and I think this is maybe the most interesting one because it's about opinions.
In favor of, like, you like something?
Sort of, yes, but it's more specific. It means you support something. You think it's a good idea. You want it to happen.
Okay, so if I'm in favor of something, I support it?
Yes, exactly. So, imagine there's a vote, and people are voting on something, and you vote yes, you are in favor of it, you support it.
Right, okay. Can you give me an example from real life?
Sure. So, my company was thinking about changing our schedule. Some people wanted to work from home more, some people wanted to work in the office more, and I was in favor of the work from home option.
Why?
Because I have a long commute, and I think people are more productive when they work from home, and they're happier, I think. So I said, I'm in favor of this.
And what happened?
Well, they made a middle option. People can work from home 2 days a week, so it's not perfect, but it's better than before.
Interesting. So when you say you're in favor of something, people listen to you?
Sometimes. Not always. It depends on who has more power in the situation.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, so I think I understand this one too. You use it when you support something, when you want it to happen.
Yes, and you can also be against something. You can say, I am not in favor of that, or I am against that.
Okay, so what are some other examples?
Well, people are in favor of different political ideas. Some people are in favor of lower taxes. Some people are in favor of helping the poor. Some people are in favor of protecting the environment.
Right, I see. And this is about their opinions?
Yes, their opinions and what they support.
Okay, I like this one too. It's interesting because it's about what people believe in. Okay, so I have a question. Can you use all of these in one conversation? Like in one story?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think. Yeah, I think so. Let me try.
Okay.
So, imagine I'm working on a big project, right? And the team is stressed. And my boss asks me what I think we should do. And I say, well, for the sake of keeping the team happy and healthy, I think we should stop working so much overtime. Instead of working 10 hours a day, we should work 8 hours. And since I'm in charge of this team, I'm going to make that decision. And I know the company is in favor of productivity, but I think rest is more important for productivity.
Wow, that was really good. And you used all four.
Yeah, it was natural too, right? It didn't sound weird?
No, it sounded really natural, like something you would actually say.
Good, because that's the thing about these prepositions. They're not just grammar rules. They're how we actually talk about real things, about decisions and opinions and responsibility.
That's really true. That's a good point.
I use these every single day. I don't think about the grammar. I just talk, and these words come out naturally.
Right, so it's not just about memorizing the words, it's about understanding when to use them and why.
Yes, that's exactly right. And the best way to learn is to hear them in real situations, in stories, in conversations.
Like this conversation.
Exactly like this conversation.
Okay, so I want to tell you a story, and I want to try using these words.
Oh, please do. I want to hear it.
So, last year I had a big decision. My company wanted me to be in charge of a new team, a bigger team, and it would be a lot more work and a lot more money, but it would mean I couldn't go to the gym as much and I couldn't spend as much time with my friends.
Oh, wow. That's a tough decision.
Right? So I was thinking, for the sake of my career and my future, should I do this? Or instead of taking this job, should I stay where I was and be happier?
What did you decide?
I decided. I talked to my mom, and she told me something really smart. She said, Anna, you can be in favor of your career and also in favor of your happiness. Both things can be true.
That's really smart. That's really good advice.
So I took the job, but I set some boundaries. I said, I will work hard, but I will not work all the time. And it's been good. I'm in charge of the team. I make good money, but I also go to the gym. I also spend time with my friends.
That's great. That's really smart, and I think a lot of people struggle with that, like choosing between work and life.
Yeah, I think so too. But I realized you don't have to choose. You can have both. It's just you have to be smart about it.
Yeah, I think so too. But I realized you don't have to choose. You can have both. It's just you have to be smart about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's really good.
Okay, so I want to talk about some mistakes, things that even advanced students get wrong.
Okay, yes, tell me.
So with for the sake of, people sometimes forget to use of. They say for the sake, but you need to say for the sake of something.
Right, like for the sake of learning English, you have to say of.
Exactly. And with instead of, people forget the ing form. They say things like, instead of going to work, I stayed home. That's right. But if you say, instead of go to work, that's wrong.
Right, you need the ing.
And with in charge of, people sometimes say, I'm in charge, but they forget the of. You have to say, I'm in charge of something.
So you need the of with all of these, basically?
Yes, they all need of. That's a good pattern to remember. For the sake of, instead of, in charge of, they all have of.
That's really helpful. That's a good way to remember it.
And in favor of also has of. So all four of them have of. That's a pattern you can use.
Nice, that makes it easier. Okay, what about pronunciation? Do people say these differently?
That's a good question. I think they're pretty straightforward. You just, for the sake of, instead of, in charge of, in favor of, pretty normal.
Okay, good. I think I can say them.
Okay, so you want to practice? Let me ask you some questions.
Sure. Okay.
So think about something you do every day and tell me why you do it. Use for the sake of.
Okay, so I cook at home instead of eating out, and I do it for the sake of saving money, and also for the sake of my health.
Good, good. And how is that working for you?
It's working okay, but sometimes I really want to go out to a restaurant. I want to eat something fancy.
Right. So instead of cooking at home, you go to a restaurant.
Yeah, sometimes. Like once a month, I treat myself. I think it's good for my mental health.
That's smart. You can balance things. Okay, next question. What is something you are in favor of, like a belief or an opinion you have?
I'm in favor of working less and living more. Like, I think people work too much and they don't spend enough time with their families and their friends.
That's a good opinion. And you live like that?
I try to. It's hard sometimes because society says you need to work all the time. But I make choices. I prioritize my relationships. Instead of staying at work late, I leave and I see my friends.
That's really good. That's a healthy way to live.
Thank you. Okay, now you have to answer these questions too.
Okay, fair is fair. So, something I do for the sake of something. Okay, so I wake up very early every morning. I do it for the sake of having time to myself before work. I like to drink coffee slowly and read the news, and it makes my whole day better.
That's nice. I like that. What are you in favor of?
I'm in favor of honesty. I think people should be honest with each other, even when it's hard. And at work, I'm in favor of transparency. People should know why decisions are made. They shouldn't be kept in the dark.
That's a good value. That's important.
I think so. I wish more people were like that.
Okay, so now that we've talked about all of this, do you have any final thoughts? Like, why are these prepositions important?
Well, I think these words are important because they help us explain our choices. They help us talk about responsibility and support and sacrifice. And these are things that matter in life.
That's really true.
Like, you're not going to be a fluent English speaker if you only know basic prepositions, but you're going to sound natural and real when you understand these more complex words, these words that have real meaning in people's lives.
Right. It's not just about grammar. It's about communication.
Exactly. It's about being able to say what you really mean
which you really think and feel.
I like that. I really like that.
And you know what? I think you're going to remember these now because we talked about them in real situations. We told stories. We talked about our lives. It wasn't just rules, it was real.
You're right. I think I will remember them. I feel like I understand them now, not just memorized them.
That's the best way to learn English, I think, with real conversations in real stories.
Totally.
Okay, well, I'm glad we did this today. This was really fun.
Yeah, me too. I learned a lot, and I got to know you better too.
Yeah, okay, well, I need to go. I have a meeting at work. I'm in charge of a new project discussion.
Of course you are. Go be responsible.
I will. Take care, Anna.
You too, and thanks for explaining everything so clearly.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.